Hello, Dr. Joe here of the drjoe.com and the 2020from.com. So today I want to share with you guys 4 things that I did to bring my cholesterol levels down to normal range. So I should say this up front, these are things that I did, okay? Things that I did that worked for me. Someone else might do things differently, that's up to them. I'm not saying whatever they did was wrong, but I'm just talking about the things that I did that worked for me, and that's what I want to share with you guys. So what are these 4 things that I did? Well, the first thing that I did was I altered my diet, and one of the first things I did to my diet was to eat foods that are high in 2 particular molecules. And you're wondering how I achieved that? Well, here is how I achieved it.
Well, you achieve this by a simple method of eating foods that are high in soluble fiber. That's it. Foods that are high in soluble fiber. Now, let me explain. So here's how it works. When you eat a food like a burger, the burger travels down the esophagus to your stomach. Digestion process begins, and upon this digestion, the cholesterol is released, absorbed into your circulation, as you can see there. But when you eat soluble fiber, it travels down and the digestion process takes place, as you can see there. And then this soluble fiber begins to mop up the cholesterol. All that yellow stuff you see in there is cholesterol, mops it up, takes it all along the small intestine to the large intestine, and that's it, to the large bowel there, straight through, and you expel it. So
the 2 molecules in question are pectin and beta-glucan. So essentially what I did was to eat foods that are high in either pectin or beta-glucan. Because the pectin and beta-glucan, they constitute the soluble fiber, and it is the soluble fiber that does the job of pulling the cholesterol out of the body for us. So you want to eat foods that are high in soluble fiber, and by that I mean pectin in particular and beta-glucan as well. So what are these foods? Well, beans is one of them, oatmeal is another, oat bran is another. Some fruits also have pectin as well. So you want to eat some of those foods, and so long as you have a good amount of soluble fiber, you will be fine. You're going to be pulling cholesterol out of the body. So that's the first thing I did. The second thing I did was also dietary, and that is I reduced the saturated fat content of my diet. As we speak, my diet is 95% saturated fat content free, okay? I have just only about 5% of saturated fat in my diet, and that's worked for me. Other people may say something different. They may say, saturated fat is not a problem. That's fine. For me, I see saturated fat as a problem, and I want to eat as little of it as possible. So I did that, and that meant foods like red meat, dairy, they had to go. Even some white meat, like chicken, they also had to go. And I replaced them with fish. That's what I did. And it worked for me. Someone else might be having red meat, lots of butter, lots of margarine and all of that. It may work for them. That's fine. I'm not interested in that. I'm just talking about what has worked for me. Okay, so I reduced the saturated fat content of my diet. In fact, the only dairy I eat now is just Greek yogurt. That's about it. And that's because Greek yogurt is a probiotic, and that's the reason I go for it. But other than that, my diet has very little saturated fat in it, and that's what's worked for me. So that's the second thing that I did. The third thing that I did was I reduced my weight, okay? I had to reduce my body fat percentage. At my heaviest, I weighed 105 kilograms. That's about 230 pounds or thereabout. And I felt that was too much weight. I brought it down to 85 kilograms, which is about 186 pounds equivalent. And my weight stays around that 85 kilograms, that 186 pounds. It hovers around that. I monitor it closely. If my weight is going up, I do something about it. I don't subscribe to the yo-yo pattern. You lose the weight, regain the weight, lose the weight. No, I don't do that. Once I bring my weight down, that's it. It's not going back up. My weight has been like that now for the past 6 to 7 years. it stayed that way, and it's going to stay that way for a long time. Why is weight loss important? Well, there's research evidence to suggest that if you can drop 10 pounds of body fat, you bring your cholesterol levels down, your LDL cholesterol levels down by about 8%. Okay, so the more of the fat you lose, the more of the LDL cholesterol that you reduce as well. So it's a win-win situation for you all around. So that's the third thing that I did, bring my weight down. So what's the fourth thing that I did? Well, the fourth thing that I did was to add exercise to my lifestyle. I know this is surprising to you guys. I never used to exercise before. Yes, I never used to. But of course, I brought exercise into my life about 6-7 years ago, and you know, it's a big part of my life as it stands. So you know, exercise does work. How exercise helps to reduce cholesterol levels is not very clear, but there is some suggestion that exercise does raise HDL levels and HDL cholesterol levels. And of course, if you increase your HDL cholesterol levels, the HDL cholesterol is what helps pull cholesterol out of the arteries, takes it to the liver. The liver converts the cholesterol to bile, and then of course the bile is passed on to the intestines, and then from then on the soluble fiber will take care of that and pull the cholesterol out of the body. So that's one mechanism through which exercise helps to bring cholesterol levels down. The second mechanism is the fact that, of course, exercise does help you to lose the weight, lose the fat. And I've just talked about that in my strategy number 3 that helps me, which is the fact that if you bring your body fat percentage down, then of course you will be lowering your cholesterol levels as well. So exercise helps you to maintain your weight. So if you do regular exercise, you are going to be helping to keep your cholesterol levels down to where it belongs. And whilst you're here, I should let you know about my book, okay? This book will help you. If you've got high blood pressure, you need to buy it because it will help you deal with it. If you don't have high blood pressure, you should also buy it because it will help you. If you apply the things that I talk about here, it will help you to prevent high blood pressure as well. So the book is for everybody. The link to buy this book will be right below this very video, in the very first comment, as well as in the video description. So just a little plug in there for you guys. My book is available on Amazon. So those are the 4 things that I did. The first one was I increased the soluble fiber content of my diet. Second thing is I reduced the saturated fat content of my diet. Third thing was that I brought down my weight down to desirable levels. And the fourth thing was to introduce exercise into my lifestyle. Those are the 4 things that I did that worked for me to help me bring my cholesterol levels down and keep it that way. Like I said before in the beginning of the video, some people might do things differently. That's fine. But I just wanted to share with you the 4 things that helped me to bring my cholesterol levels down. And hopefully you got some value from this very video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Please like the video. And also please share this video with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues. If you got any questions, any comments regarding what I have talked about in this very video, go ahead, leave your comments or questions down below. I think that's about it. Until next time, well, this is Dr. Joe signing out.